Help me to reach 2,000 subscribers. When I saw the lipstick on her wrist, a faint red smear shaped like someone's careless thumbprint, I told myself it was just a mark from her drink. The glass of rosé she had clutched all evening had left similar stains before. But when she tucked a strand of hair behind her ear and her sleeve slid back again, I saw it wasn't wine. It was someone else's lipstick. Did you have fun? I asked, my voice catching on the last word. Yeah, she said, too quickly. It was interesting. The word interesting hung in the air like smoke from a burnt-out candle. She couldn't meet my eyes. Her smile felt rehearsed, her perfume sharper than usual, a mix of jasmine and sweat and something faintly unfamiliar, something that didn't belong to her. It was 2:17 a.m. when she came home from the swingers' party. Her idea, not mine. I remember how she had said it over dinner 2 weeks earlier, her tone casual, almost clinical. People our age experiment, you know. It's just exploration. No emotions. Just curiosity. I had laughed then, thinking she was joking. But the silence that followed was too heavy, her eyes too serious. That night, she told me it was about reigniting what we had lost. I said yes because saying no felt like admitting we were already broken. But watching her now, avoiding my gaze, fumbling with her earrings, I realized we weren't reigniting anything. We were watching the last spark die out. I poured her a glass of water, my hand trembling just enough for the ice to clink against the glass. So, how was it? She hesitated, then shrugged. Fine. Nothing crazy. Just, people talking. Drinking. Her voice cracked on talking. I didn't ask more. I couldn't. I sat there in the kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator filling the silence, and stared at the faint red mark again. Later, in bed, I pretended to sleep while she showered. The sound of water hitting tile was relentless. I thought of all the things that could be washing off: perfume, sweat, fingerprints, guilt. When she slipped under the covers, she whispered, "I love you." I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to. But her body felt different beside mine. Tense, guarded. I lay awake, watching the slow movement of shadows on the ceiling, wondering who she had been thinking of when she said those words. Over the next few days, she tried harder. More kisses, more small talk, more effort. But effort can't erase evidence. Her phone buzzed constantly. Tiny vibrations she tried to silence with a nervous smile. Once, she left it unlocked beside me on the couch. The message preview flashed before I could look away. Last night was worth it. My stomach twisted. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. That night, I told her I needed some air. She nodded, barely looking up from her screen. Outside, the city was quiet, the kind of silence that feels too fragile to disturb. I walked aimlessly, letting the cold bite at my face, wondering when love had turned into surveillance. By the time I returned, she was asleep, or pretending to be. Her phone was face down on the nightstand, still glowing faintly. I picked it up. My hand shook as I entered her passcode. And there it was. A thread of messages with a name I didn't recognize. Photos. A hotel room selfie, her smile soft and unguarded in a way it hadn't been with me in years. One message stood out. You made me feel alive again. My breath caught. I set the phone down, staring at the dark reflection in the screen. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just stopped feeling for a moment. The next morning, I brewed coffee like always. She came into the kitchen wearing my shirt, pretending everything was normal. You're up early, she said, stretching. I looked at her. Really looked at her. The woman I had loved for 12 years, who had once danced barefoot in our kitchen at midnight, was now a stranger wearing my clothes. I saw the messages, I said quietly. Her body went still. What? I didn't repeat it. She knew. Her face crumpled, not with remorse, but with fear. Fear of losing control, fear of consequence. It was a mistake, she said. I didn't mean to. Stop, I interrupted. My voice sounded calm, detached. You meant to. You went there to feel something. You just didn't expect to feel guilty afterward. Tears welled in her eyes. It didn't mean anything. That's the worst part, I said. That it meant nothing. The silence that followed was deafening. She reached for my hand, but I stepped back. I'm filing for divorce, I said. Her face went pale. Please, don't do this. We can fix it. We can talk. No, I whispered. You already said everything you needed to say last night. Just not to me. She collapsed into the chair, sobbing. I stood there for a long time, staring at the woman who had once been my whole world. Then I walked out. It's been 6 months since that night. The papers are signed. The house is empty except for the echo of memories that refuse to fade. Sometimes, I catch myself wondering if she ever thinks about what she lost. About how love can rot quietly until one night, you mistake decay for passion. I don't hate her anymore. Hatred would mean I still care. What I feel now is quieter, like standing in the ruins of something sacred, realizing you survived the collapse. And yet, every time I see a red stain, on a glass, a napkin, a stranger's lips, I still remember that mark on her wrist. The moment I stopped being her husband and started being someone she betrayed. And in that memory, I find a strange kind of peace. Because sometimes, losing someone isn't the tragedy. Sometimes, it's the release.